Hello.
Hey, people. Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of the Heirloom Hour with the Anxious Tomato. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kate.
And this is episode 8. Kate,
Oh
although I did mess that up and I said 7, so sorry for any confusion I may have caused on Facebook.
That's okay.
Episode 8, and we're really excited. We're in the month of September. Things have been moving right along.
Oh my gosh. This has been a pretty exciting month, and we'll share more about why we're excited about it a little bit later.
We have so many wonderful things to talk about.
We do. But we are here today to talk about
Vic Wade.
Vic Wade. Vic is
what a
so
wonderful
cool.
person.
He was somebody who we had never met before we'd started this.
Yeah.
We only communicated with him through emails.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we met him, he was an absolute delight. It was so great.
And also a Tacoma local.
He's a Tacoma local.
So we got to meet him in person.
Which is great. Yeah.
And we
Lives,
went
like,
to
right
his
down the
studio.
street.
Yeah. Really close to where I live and hang out, actually. So,
Yeah.
small
So that
city.
was great. Yeah.
I mean, small world.
It's a very small world.
Yeah, so Vic went through the wonderful process of being in our gallery, which you can too. Come check us out.
Always.
Vic does very large-scale abstract paintings.
Yeah. Very large scale.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
One thing that's kind of sad about our gallery being online is that you can't take in how
experience.
powerful some of these things may be. Like, the artwork is so big. We went to a studio. He had the artwork set up, which you'll see in his interview, because we did an interview with him, which was wonderful. But yeah, the artwork was huge. Like, monumentous. I'm looking for a word. Like, standing in front of it in a gallery, like, how you would feel.
You would feel small. Like, yeah.
Bold.
4 feet by 5 feet, I think one of them was. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 feet by 5. Yeah, something like 4 feet by 5 feet. That's a small child. That's a large child.
That is a big, square person.
Just thinking about the height,
Kate.
like how high up.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Bring your big, large, small children to this art gallery and come check it out.
All right.
Victor's in for the whole month of September. Our next gallery show, the month of October, is our first group show.
Oh my god!
People of the audience. We could not have done this without you.
We couldn't have done this without you, and oh my gosh, am I excited about it.
We were featured on a blog, on a website.
That we didn't even know about. And it's so cool.
Artwork Archive featured us on a blog post for best ways to stay connected during a pandemic art show related thing. And since Anxious Tomato starts with A, you guys, you better bet we were at the top.
We were right at the top. And oh my gosh, guys, we got
so much traffic.
We got over 20. Well, we got a lot of traffic. We got over 20 submissions.
Oh, jeez, to the art show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we got over 20 people submit artwork.
And we didn't know it. Like, we knew, we knew 4 people.
And what was cool, which I expected, I expected people to submit last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting people to, like, really get in there last minute and send their submissions because, you know, we're artists. We procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
I see you.
That's what we do.
I see you out here. But everyone did a great job, and we are so pumped. Keep an eye out for the email because there's some fun stuff in there that's going to be cool.
It's really
Tune in
exciting.
the live stream. It's going to be spooky Halloween. It's
Spooky
spooky Halloween weather in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh my gosh, it's blustering outside right now.
My goodness.
It's pretty awesome.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump right in to
Vic's work.
Vic's online gallery show.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that. What the heck? All right, not working out the way I wanted it to.
It's up.
Great.
Yeah. So make the thing go away.
What thing go away?
The logo.
Jesus. Oh my
okay.
goodness.
We are so organized today, you guys.
We saved a dog's life out front of my house.
We did. I am super blustered. We're a little... Yeah, it's fine. So Victor's artwork.
Yes.
I love his stuff
right in.
So much. I really, really do.
We had not met him, too. A lot of the times, we don't meet these people until the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I always make a flyer
based on what you think
the visual interpretation of their artwork. So I went with this very modern text here. I think that goes well with Vic's art.
I think it goes well with his art. I actually think it goes pretty well with his personality. Yes. That's my opinion, but...
Here we have his artist statement here that you can read yourselves. Follow along on the website, anxioustomato.com/online gallery. This little envelope goes to his email, so
yeah, if you are interested in his work and want to purchase a piece, by all means.
Oh,
let's get started.
48 by 48.
4 feet by 4
Dark
feet square.
Circus.
Yeah. It's, pretty sure. Was it shiny? Was it a little shiny? It felt shiny. Like shimmery.
You know, I don't remember.
That's okay. It was on the side over here.
See, the negative joys of not having an actual gallery.
Yeah, is you can't experience them in person. And
yes, very large piece of artwork, and they just big, large scale work. Kind of, like I had said earlier, invokes emotion.
Oh
in
yes.
itself, like just seeing like large pieces of artwork. This one wasn't the biggest one, but I really enjoy this piece. Kind of reminds me of a waterfall. It
does remind me of a waterfall with like rainbows and stuff going on through it. Dark Circus is the title of it. He didn't. He seemed to come up with names at the end. He usually doesn't. He talked about always having like a direction right out the gate when it came to each piece. So he just kind of lets it evolve, which is that's always really fun to do. As an artist, it's always really fun to just like let a piece kind of take over for you instead of trying to be super serious about what's happening. Although you're usually pretty super serious.
I know. Maybe I should be less serious. I was
you have an endpoint in mind for sure.
Thinking in my mind, wow, I really start with an endpoint. I don't usually let it flow anymore, and I kind of did the other night. I came home and just got out a piece of paper and just went for it. It was pretty sporadic. Maybe I'll show you later.
It's
actually,
good for you.
Want to see it.
It's good for you. It's good for your art brain.
And his process is the sporadic, let it build and develop art style.
Lay some paint on.
I mean, I can see that here.
Yeah, definitely.
Layers, lots of layers, lots of three-dimensional aspects too. There's like this line in here that's probably some kind of.
It's like paint. I think it's layers of paint.
Actually. Yeah, or like we'll see in the next one.
Yeah.
Some kind of like. Oh. Tape
tape and stuff
textured
like that.
sticker material, volcano.
I like this one.
Also
He's got a
big.
cool story about this one that he talks about.
Yeah, this one seemed really big to me because it was like on the easel. It has this projectile upward. It's a volcano. He has some really good things to say about it in his interview.
And it's a volcano without like being a volcano.
It's abstract.
It's the great thing about abstract art. That's great.
Abstract art is interpretable, and artwork is always
up to the discretion of the viewer.
The viewer. I mean, self-explanatory, but in some cases, but not always.
Yeah.
See, I like the three-dimensional element here of this like tape underneath that's painted over. Like maybe that was incidental. Maybe that was on purpose.
Doesn't matter because it looks awesome.
Oh yeah. Yes. I do like this piece. I like the way that the clouds have this. Shading that's done.
And like all the texture on, like you can just see the layers and layers of paint and the decisions that he made, because a lot of these lines are from like tape being removed and then he painted over it again, but it didn't even out. No, it's just it creates such a depth to it that I'm sure wasn't intended in the first place, but it looks freaking great.
Well, this is a great price, you guys. This piece is awesome. You should
It's huge. That's a great price for how big it is.
I just got a really great idea.
You know, artists are starting to charge by the inch. These
Good
days.
for them.
I know, right?
Not me.
It's making pieces ridiculously expensive.
Well, 4 feet by 4 feet by the square inch. I mean...
don't make me math on cue like that. That's rude.
I feel like you just multiply 48 by 48. Maybe not. This piece is titled The Psychic.
The Psychic. Oh, I love it. I like the watercolor. It's not watercolor, but the like, it looks like
water paint effect. Spray paint, I believe, is what he uses. Was there spray paint?
That's right. He did have spray paint on his table.
Yeah.
It looks like if you were looking at a colored screen through.
It says acrylic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's acrylic elements here.
Yeah. I don't think I was given all of the mediums, okay. So I made assumptions.
Yeah,
but most of it's acrylic, I think.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, the like zappy line, like the psychic, like maybe you're getting a psychic reading and it's like zapping in your body and you feel it and you're like, yes, I get it.
And that's like skin. That could be skin even.
It's
the pink later, yeah. No, that's great.
The penetrating zap line
of the psychic.
I like this color combination up in this. this milky, dreamlike paint
through
spray.
wet glass kind of thing.
Yeah. I always enjoy seeing artwork and then the title with like artists and reading it and being like, okay. And with abstract work, like, okay, the psychic, like, how am I...
Yeah, trying to look at it in the framework that they put on it by giving it a name.
By giving it a title that's very specific. Oh. Great color scheme.
The invention of the apple. Yeah, I like this one.
The invention.
Yeah.
Also 4 foot by 4 foot.
These, like, great wobbly apple shapes.
See, this makes me think of a circus.
Yeah, this does.
I feel like a circus tent, lava lamp.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoy lava lamps and collect them.
They collect them.
Any questions? No?
No questions
Okay,
yet.
all right, cool. Thank you for anyone who's joining us in this crazy weather out here.
We really do appreciate
it. It's treacherous. There's been a lot of craziness on the roads today, so be careful out there. Be careful. Oh. This is the only use of, like, green in this whole picture.
It's a good spot for it, though.
It is.
It stands out very nicely.
It's moving upward. There's the movement of the invention of the apple. See, I am still interpreting this.
I feel like the way that I take it is, like, the spikes, these spiky things, are like producing these apple shapes, like water out of an eyedropper, kind of like super slow, just being like whoop, and then there's like an apple. Like, that's what I think of when I look at it.
It's producing them, and there they go. The color bead game.
I can see it.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a city.
It's kind of like a city. It reminds me of those, like, that marble game where you, like, rock the board back and forth and try to get the marble through the maze without it dropping.
No, like Plinko. Ooh.
It could be like Plinko.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a tabletop flat
tabletop
thing.
Yeah.
And you, like, Mancala, where you flip the marbles and it's like a tray.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
The color bead game.
I like it.
I'm wondering if the color bead game is an actual game.
No, we'd have to look it up.
I do like the use of neon colors with a gray value. Or this isn't even neon, but actually this color combination of, like, turquoise and pink is wonderful.
It is wonderful.
It's very appealing.
It's a great color combination. For sure.
Yeah, it's like, you know, objects moving around like a city street kind of vibe. I like it. Same. Ooh.
Sunlight on freeway off-ramp. It looks like an angry eye to me. It looks like something that's angry.
So sunlight on a freeway off-ramp is very specific.
It is very specific.
But I like this. It reminds me of, like, 90s vaporwave comic stuff.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Which is popular right now. And very architectural, like, space.
Structural,
like,
yeah.
You know, like...
I love this.
Creepy building kind of peeking in. A spooky eye.
Yep.
I mean...
Like, also arrows. Like, there's 2 arrows in it, but, like...
I actually really like this.
I do, too. Good color choices.
This is like an arrow, yeah, so off-ramp, you're turning, or something. Sunlight. And the sun's, like, reflecting, and it's, like, the shine that hits you in the eye and almost runs you off the road. When the setting Washington State sun is heading west. Just like
that. Man, have we not all been there?
If you've never been on the West Coast, you don't know.
You don't know. You don't know what it's like.
Also, again, good price on this, everyone. You should check it out. If you're interested in buying his work, you can
email
him directly. I believe we talk about that a little later. Rooster.
It's very literal.
Very literal.
More so than his other pieces, for sure.
Gestural, textured paint. Roosters are boisterous.
There's a lot of there's a lot of texture going on. I really like it. And, like, in this like middle section, I feel that it almost looks like he used, like, pictures of something else and then painted over it, but that's not what's going on. It's too big for that.
You mean like a collage?
Yeah, like I think of, like that thing where you colorize an image with like black and white and then put a solid color over the top to make it look like that's what it looks like.
Monochromatic film?
Yeah.
Kind of vibe?
Yeah. Kind of like when you put the neon part over your cow. But like with a black and white picture behind it, yeah. That kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what that's called.
Sorry. I don't know what that's called either. That's why I'm describing it badly.
Fun facts are not as fun as
when we don't know what they're called.
I would like to give a fun fact every month while we're here together. Once a week. We could do more fun facts on our Facebook page. Sorry, everybody. Midnight in Egypt. Oh.
I can see it.
Midnight in Egypt. So I've never been to Egypt.
I have also never been to Egypt.
It's probably really hot at night.
It's probably really cold at night, actually. Yeah.
You're probably right about that.
Uh-huh.
This is an interesting one. It kind of looks like a dream.
Kind of.
Someone's dreaming.
The top and the bottom color, or the color in the cloud, I'm using air quotes, cloud above it, and the ground beneath it are mimicked a little bit.
Yeah. Pink pyramid really stands out.
There's definitely a pink pyramid.
There's lots of attention being drawn to this pyramid here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like planets in the night sky. I mean...
I don't know.
That's...
What do you think, people?
Wonderful. Yes, people of the audience. Hello.
People of the audience, what do you think?
Is anyone with us today?
There's a person with us.
Hey, whoever you are.
Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, the one we used to the flyer.
Yes.
Which I always randomly pick the one. I just pick one.
Yeah.
When I'm making the flyer, headlights in an alley. I
was really drawn to the
I pick one that I think is eye-catching, that's all-encompassing, that really gives a good example of what the whole show, once Kate and I have visually, experienced the images, what I think represents the show as a whole. And after meeting him, which was after I picked this one for the flyer, I thought this went really well.
It went really well, yeah.
Everything.
I do too.
And obviously I like this image. So headlights in an alley. I mean, I spent a lot of time in alleys.
You ever been blinded by headlights in an alley?
Honestly, so my friend Amber, her last name's Allie.
Okay.
And her alleyway by her house is treacherous.
Is it?
No, but there's always someone parked at the end and you can't get through sometimes, and it's frustrating, and this reminds me of frustration.
Yeah.
Of dealing with that alleyway.
It resonates with you really well.
Yeah, but there's a lot of action here that's bam, the headlights are coming down and blinding you, and all you want to do is go home, and it's late at night. And
you can't leave.
And you're frustrated, and there's all these symbolic images of street signs and urban life.
Oh man, I was actually blinded on my way home from work yesterday.
Wow.
I wasn't work, but anyway, from Tacoma. I was leaving Tacoma, and it was like the sun. It was like driving with the sun behind me. It was really, really crappy. I had to wait until I could actually pull off to let them pass me, because they were just passing.
It's nuts out there. This bright blue really stands out, and it's
the pink.
I stare right at it.
At the blue?
Yeah, I'm staring I'm staring in this area with the bright blue that's very eye-catching, bam, in your face. But again, we're looking at it on a projected screen, so we have to take that into effect.
Downtown traffic.
This one's big.
This one's really big.
Yeah, it's in a frame. Look at that.
It is. It actually reminds me of
was this oriented right?
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. I believe that this
maybe or be a vertical or a horizontal piece instead of a vertical piece.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like it like this. That's the thing about abstract art too, is you can actually hang it any way you like.
This is a really good point, actually. We apologize, Vic, for the artwork on the opposite side. We can get that fixed ASAP at the end of this. Because it was
intended a certain way.
Yeah, it was intended a certain way, because I can see the signature going the other way there. But good point, because abstract art can have multiple angles, which this definitely has angles, and it also has angles. So we're looking at it from a different
angle. Oh, you crack me up.
So when I look at it this way, I thought that this circular stuff was like a bike chain.
So did I. It looks like a bike chain. I see a bike chain and those things that move up and down when trains go by. The little with the there's like a gear and then like the arm of it. Yeah.
Yes. But if you look at it from the side, it almost looks like pyramids again.
It does.
And like traffic symbols and stuff.
Downtown traffic.
Well,
we'll fix that as to not break people's necks.
Beautiful frame.
Love it.
You know, this is like a gold, antique gold kind of flat, you know, very modern frame. Which goes well with this wonderfully color schematic piece of artwork. It's modern art.
I like the sketchiness of it, where it looks like he drew things and then didn't paint them in. I like that.
Yes.
This one's my favorite.
Oh.
Out of all
Biography of a Parachute?
Biography of a Parachute. I like the name.
Biography?
And I like the representation.
Yes.
I think it's really, really great.
Oh. Have you ever seen like a hot air balloon festival where they
I
all
have, yeah.
I mean,
did think of hot air balloons also.
Well, parachutes are usually coming down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And hot air balloons are coming up, so you know, this looks like gravitational pull to me. They're coming down. Maybe there's like chaos. Maybe there's not. Maybe, I mean, I guess chaos doesn't have to be negative. Neapolitan ice cream cone here.
And this like rainbow cloud thing going on down here.
Do you like the neon clouds setting sun?
That's great.
But what's happening here?
I don't know.
Mountains? Does that look skyline? Yes.
Whatever you want to be.
Walking around a gallery and staring up at artwork. Man, it's been so long since I got to stare up at artwork in a gallery.
Oh my gosh.
Kate and I are always looking for spaces too. If anyone has a space that they would like to rent out for an evening or host us, like we can put together a collaborative art show in public.
We can.
As the Anxious Tomato.
Super easy.
Do a group show again, take submissions, and then bam.
And then out, yeah. If you have a place to rent, if you know somebody with a place to rent.
Anything.
If you just feel like being awesome and working with us, we would love to do that. Yeah.
City scene.
City scene.
Yeah. Looks busy.
It looks very busy.
That city's ready to go.
This one looks like you could hang it any way, any which way, and it would make sense. I'm going to do that now. Be like, oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, this is great.
I suppose that
I wonder what was going on.
Always an orientation. It reminds me of a food market. Sort of.
Yeah.
Candy food market.
A candy food market.
A newspaper stand with lots of stuff to look at.
Right.
In New York
Oh,
City.
yeah. There you go.
Did you see a newspaper stand when you were in New York City? Like trinkets and fun stuff?
No, I didn't walk by any of those while I was there. I took lots of subway. I didn't walk a lot. Well, that's a lie. I walked a lot. I was also walking in the heat and trying to get to my destination, and I wasn't paying a lot of attention.
How hot was it when you were in New York City?
It was just muggy. It was summer.
Fair.
It was like the middle of the summer.
Muggy. The East Coast. Yes.
Sticky.
Very busy. Cities are busy.
Yeah.
You know, there's no people symbology here. I don't see like any human symbology. This kind of made me think of a fish. This is like a bridge. This is a bridge. That's a bridge. This is Pittsburgh. Sorry.
Or Portland.
Portland has more bridges.
Pittsburgh
only has two. I got in a debate about this the other day. Because I was like, oh, Portland reminds me of Pittsburgh. And they're like, except for Portland has like 9 times
many
bridges. I said, oh, don't shame my recall. I haven't been there in a while, okay?
Geez, I love it.
I think this is the last. Oh, this looks like a hot dog that got thrown on the ground with some mustard. Cityscape. I think this is the last one. I don't have a go arrow on this side. But they look really good cohesively in this nice setup here. I got the little scrolly bar.
I thought it was, because it was abstract, I found it appropriate. Could you keep going that way?
Yes, I can keep going that way.
Nope. Okay, that's
we're back
it.
at the
We're back at
Dark
the
Circus. Yeah, good job, Kate. Kate usually puts the website, the galleries together. So
I do what I can. I do what I can.
Great. I guess that's all we have on the website for Vic. It's such a pleasure talking to him and being able to go to his studio because, I mean, we're in a... It's difficult out here to go out and do stuff.
It definitely made me want to go to every other, like, every next artist's gallery and do their interview there.
But not everyone's going to be local.
Not everyone's going to be local. I obviously we could still do Zoom calls for people who live out of state, or out of the close area. Yeah. But yeah, to be able to go to people's galleries and art studios and actually see where they are and where they work and what their artwork looks like next to them.
I would be happy if we continued to receive support from the local community where we could do this and really put like all of the cool locals on blast out there.
Please.
Give you guys a spotlight. I mean, we'd like to be your spotlight.
Focus people to us, yeah.
Huh?
If I said focus people, like get artists to come work with us.
Well, we would like to be the spot. Like right now, how much of a resource are we to the community? Like, could be better.
Mean, it could be better. It could be very much better.
We have big plans for next year.
We really do. I'm excited.
But we'd like to be more of a resource. That's the thing. We hope we're helping.
And if you have any ideas, please contact us. Yeah, or feedback or whatever. Just, message us, email us.
Yeah, you want a Zoom call just for fun?
I'm not putting my phone number on blast.
I'm kidding. We have an email address. Send us your comments, concerns, and suggestions.
Please.
So, Vic, we'll just jump right into his interview then. It's a bit of a long interview.
But it's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
If you like stories, this is story time with Vic Wade.
Yes. Please take the time to enjoy his story with us.
Please.
The Anxious Tomato. Yeah. And here we go. Yeah.
Well, my birth given name is Wade Victoria, but everyone has called me Vic Wade since, I don't know, time immemorial, I guess, since I can remember. I was born into a family, well, there was only 3 kids in the family when I was born, but it eventually ended up 9 kids. And as far as I know, I'm the only real artist. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I was born in Beaumont, Texas. A very cold day in February of '68. My mother, like I said, she had 9 kids, and she was always giving us things to do. She would go and I guess she was kind of crafty. She was real crafty, had a lot of persona, and she was always giving us things to do. She would bake a cake, and one of the kids would call for the spoon. I want to lick the dough off the spoon. One of the kids would call for the bowl. I could never get in on that. So she would always go, when she went to the store, she would give me the brown paper bags, the infamous brown paper bags became my first canvas. She would give me the brown paper bags, and that was it. That was all I got. She would say, take that and go draw on it. And that's how I started drawing. I'm talking about 2 and 3 years old. I was... when I was in the 6th grade, I was entering my pictures into contests with 5,000 entries and coming out 2nd place. So that wasn't bad. And 2nd, 1st, just depending on.
Absolutely.
I use what I consider, art to me is almost mediumistic, really. I got to say, every true artist is a medium. When you ask me what my artistic style is, I like to describe my art as being abstract. Because I believe that's exactly what happens. I start with an image, the image changes, the image twists, the image shifts, and before you know it, it's something recognizable, and it continues to shift until it's an abstraction. So I would say that's what I would say. I'm an abstract artist who's been doing art for at least 50 years. College, I was in all the art classes all through high school. And in fact, I had art teachers who I now believe that I'm an adult and I can think about it on my own. See, the art teachers never think that their students are going to grow up to be adults, and they might remember some of this stuff. But I had art teachers who were actually, I don't want to use the word jealous, but I think I should. But I had art teachers who act like they didn't like me because my work was so good. I was always at the front of the class with my art. I was always what they thought, a better artist than everyone else. And teachers like for everybody to be on the same level, you know. I mean, the teachers aren't, or at least when I was coming up, at least to me, it didn't seem like they didn't want prodigies. That's not what they wanted. They wanted somebody who was teachable. And by the time I got to the 5th grade, I mean, I could do artwork. My mother and dad, and when I left, I spent 8 years in the military. And when I left home, I left my stuff home. After basic training, I went back and tried to get my stuff and bring it here. I decided to move to Washington State. They wouldn't let me have it. I had stuff that was just immaculate. I mean, a lot of my art was immaculate. So you know, you talk formal training. Not really. I never went to college for. I never thought I had to. I've always thought that would mess me up if I went to college. And I shouldn't say that. A lot of people won't like me saying that. But I gotta tell you, that's how I feel. Based on what I had, and based on what I knew about art. Now I don't make no mistake about it. You know, you say formal training. That's why I say, what do you mean formal training? I used to live upstairs in the basement. I'm an attic. I lived upstairs in a lady's attic where I did nothing but read about art, did art. We talked about art. Where I'd go over to other artists' house. We talked about art. We'd read art. We'd do art. Watch films on art. Much of it. We did this on our own. I mean, we educated ourselves about de Kooning, Picasso, Pollock. I mean, we did it. We talked it out. We watched films. We mimicked their styles. We did everything, you know, until we came of age. But well, I had no formal training, so I guess I'd probably have to say no in the formal training as we know formal training. But boy, if a person can give themselves formal training, I may have done that. I did it because I wanted to incorporate. I wanted to see what these guys were about. There was a time when artists painted because they were ordered to do so by the Pope. There were times when artists painted because they were ordered to do so by the Medici, by the ruling class. I mean, you had to paint the king. You know, who was going to get who was going to get the job of painting the king? I mean that was that. Do that, and you're a big guy. From Titian to, you know, all those guys, Caravaggio, all those guys you had back there who was, you know, that was, yeah. And so we studied these guys and we read about them because we wanted to know who they were. We thought that by doing that we could see where art came from and where we fit in. I think that's always the thing. I think that was the thing as far as that was concerned. Knowing the history of something kind of lets you know. Knowing the history of something, look at what you're doing and look how far what you're doing is away from what they were doing, and you entertain yourself with how did we get here, and where am I going with what I'm doing? Will I be in the history books one day? You know, and so it's the whole wonder and amazement of it. A true artist always is amazed by art. Always amazed. You never stop being amazed by art. Whether it's the art that you're doing or the art that you see someone did in the past, that the art just circulates in your blood. That's why we did that. That's why I did that. And I love doing it. I had a whole library. I still do. And I still visit it from time to time. I still, just before I'm going to do a painting, I'll sit and I'll look through a book about Pollock and de Kooning and those abstract expressionists from the 40s. And then I'll pop in one of my CDs that I have on them. Not that I want to copy what they did. There's a maturity that has taken hold of me now that tells me you can't do that because you stymie yourself. But that it, you know, it gets the blood pumping. So I think that's where all that came from. Recently, look, I brought a book about that thing. It's I'm a big jazz fan. Jazz from the 40s, 30s, 20s, today. I love jazz, and jazz and art just seem to go together to me. It's that culminating perfect marriage. I was recently looking in a book that I purchased off Amazon. It's a big book about jazz, and I came upon a guy playing a saxophone. I think it was Lee Kunitz, and I said, boy, because what it was him playing, but he was playing in a dark room and the light overhead was red, and his gold saxophone was turning almost pinkish with the red light, and his whole face was bathed in red. And I said, boy, I could paint that if I could. Boy, that's lovely. I wonder what would happen if I tried to paint this, because I know it's not going to come out as what I see. Art is, like I said, every artist is a medium. I honestly believe that an artist, a true artist, when they're working, receives messages from the beyond. I mean, he can start with his image, like the image I started, the guy playing the saxophone. Then it became something else. I can't stop my hand from turning it into something else. And many, many nights right here in this room, I fought. I said, I'm going to win. But here I'm only 54 years old, and art is millions of years old, perhaps. I don't know, but art is very old. And so it's me against this thing that's very old. It's telling me what it wants me to put on the canvas, and I'm trying to put what I see in the book on the canvas. And there's a war going. That's that war Picasso said, art is not intended to decorate apartments. Art is war. I think I see what he's talking about now. It's that war. He said art takes place in the wee hours of the morning. It's that war when you're out here by yourself and you're trying to struggling to put something on the canvas, and it's just turning into something else. I mean, and so that's you talk about imagery. Imagery to me is, I can start with it, but it's, and when I started doing the picture of the guy painting the saxophone, I had already yielded the picture, I had already yielded the end results long before I ever started the picture. I mean, I told myself, this is not what it's going to come out as. It's just not going to come out as this. But it's going to be fun to see what it comes out as. So imagery to me means everything, but then it means nothing. I mean, it disappears in the whole mediumistic flow of art, I think. So imagery, that's a good question. I could be flipping through a magazine and something will inspire me, but I mean, only for right now. When the picture is over, the image is of no value. I felt like I shouldn't have even looked at it. It never mattered, but it must have mattered some. It must have mattered some, because I mean, it lasted for all of 10 minutes, but
yeah,
and it's 4 feet wide. They say that when a bee stings you, that's it for it, because when he stings you, as he's trying to fly away, he leaves his guts inside of you. He leaves his stinger inside of you, and as he's trying to fly away, it pulls the rest of his entrails out. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's just a shell with wings, and eventually it hits the ground. When a bee stings you, that's actually what happened. Well, when you work on a painting like this, and when you put so much time into it, and when you cover it as well as this one has covered, I tell you, I felt like I left my guts on the canvas. I couldn't do anything for 3 weeks after I did this. I couldn't do anything. I didn't start any paintings. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't. There was just nothing there. A lot of me went on to this thing here. I call it volcano. And I was looking at the computer a few days ago, and I came by a picture of the Mirage, a YouTube special about the Mirage. So I clicked on it, and the guy who owns the Mirage casino in Las Vegas, outside there's a huge volcano. There's a huge volcano outside, and they were talking about the volcano and how it was put in, and Steve Wynn, the guy who owns it. And so I decided to send him a letter. I actually decided to write him a hand letter and send him a color copy, 8x10 color copy of this painting right here, telling him that it's for sale and telling him how much it is. And I can't wait to get his reaction. Quite simple. I like to inspire people. I like to inspire people. I'd like to inspire people to do art. I'd like to inspire people to study art. And I'd like to inspire people just to let art be one of those things that that they're curious about. When people look at a piece of my art, I want them to say, "What the heck was he thinking?" I mean, what was he thinking? I mean, what does it? Is this real? Is this really art? Is this the way it should really look? I mean, is this what I should be doing in my studio? Or is this guy just totally off to the left? Does this guy know what he's doing? Or I want people to ask questions. I want people to dig deep. I want it to change their lives if it can. If it can. I like it. I like to challenge people. I think I would. That's how I would answer that. What I'd like to challenge people. That could be on several fronts. I mean, challenge them to go home and we always thought, you know, we'd go to the museums and we'd look at pictures, we'd look at paintings, and you'd see people holding their, they were there with their kids. And then you love to see that. A mother holding her 7-year-old son, and she's pointing at a painting, and he's asking her about it. And you say, gosh, that kid's going to go home, beg his mother for a canvas, and try to scratch that out in the next couple of days, and that's great. That's great. I mean, that to me is inspiration. That's what I want I want my paintings to inspire people, to go home and grab a blank canvas and try it. Try to do what I did, because I know if they try to do what I did, they're not going to do that, but they're going to do something, and that's going to amaze them. That's worth it. I think that makes painting worth it for me. I love it. When you love it, the anxiety seems to melt. It just seems to melt away. There's something about believing in what you're doing that takes the nervousness and the anxiety and the angst out of it. It really, there is. There's something about loving what you're doing. There's something about knowing that you're doing it the right way, because you're not really in control. There's something about being used as an instrument that there's no anxiety for me, because when I start painting, I yield myself to the painting. I don't care what it turns out to be. I don't care what color I use. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who hates it. It's just me putting it on the canvas, knowing that what I'm putting on there is what belongs on there, because it's not me really doing. I'm being used as an instrument, but it's not really, it's coming through me, not so much from me. And so that eliminates a lot of the anxiety about art to me. I would like to, if I have to, get a collective started, me and several other artists. I'd like to I don't care if we can only pay rent on that building for 1 month. Who knows? We might get in there and sell everything and continue to go. I'd like to have, I don't really have many shows going on right now, but my biggest concentration is on putting rent down on a building and then just opening it and finding one of my friends who have nothing to do during the daytime and sticking them in there and letting them watch the paintings and just kind of going like that. I have a desire I'd like to be showing places anyway. Even if I had my own gallery, I'd like for my stuff to be other places too. I mean, a lot of people don't like that, you know. But my main thrust right now is actually to have my own gallery. The little place like they had in that movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? If you know, I love that. I love that movie because I love that nice little gallery that Captain Hepburn runs. You know, I love it. I'd like to have something like that. So right now, barring the show that I have here, I'm working on some shows, but right now nowhere. But I'm not so big on that because I can tell you, my main thrust is to have my own little gallery at first, then grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it. You know, and if we can't always sell originals, we can sell reproductions, we can sell posters, we can sell, you know, just have fun, just selling art.
It was absolutely a treasure to meet him.
You know, doing the live interview was really cool.
It was, and we want to be able to do that again if we can in the future. For sure.
If there's anything that we could ever make that's some kind of like virtual reality art show where you could just see the artwork in person, like virtual art reality would be really heckin' cool. And next month is our first ever online group show.
Yes. Okay.
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
Beer in Technicolor.
We're very, very excited about
Beer
it.
in Technicolor
Definitely
is
check
next
it out.
month.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be in a new studio space. We're really excited. It's going to be a permanent studio space. I know you have no idea where the heck we're at because there's the same backdrop every single time.
That's on purpose.
But I promise you, we will be in a new place. All of the support that we've received from everyone has been so wonderful.
Oh my gosh, it's great. And if you want to contribute anything, we will send you stickers.
Yes, we have.
And if you want to contribute more than anything, we will give you a t-shirt.
By the way, Kate and I designed all of
these
this.
stickers.
Everything.
Oh my God, these are
all
great.
of this logo branding is done by us.